So I'm Harrison Roeder. I went to Narragate September of 2013, and now I'm a construction manager at Betenbough Homes in Midland. So I've been working at Betenbough for almost 5 years. To me, it was a continuation of Narragate. I learned certain values in life that honestly is what I think any young man should have. But coming to Betenbough, our core values are excellence, generous stewardship, unity, and growth. That's all things that cycle back into discipleship and like what we should actually be doing in our day-to-day lives. So when I went to Narragate, I was 25 years old. Believe it or not, from the day I turned 18, my parents asked me every year on my birthday if I wanted to go to Narragate. And I said no, every year. I just was not at a time, it was not a place in my life where that's what I wanted to seek out. Fast forward 7 years, I was at a place where that was my only option, to be honest. And honestly, when I got there, I didn't know what to expect. And as I went through the program, I had a heart change. And honestly, it's what changed my life. And that's where growth came into my life, where excellence. I wanted to start a family. I wanted to be the man that my wife could look up to, have kids. And so there were so many things that even maybe not knowing it at the time, it prepared me for what was going to come later in my life, and then ultimately to Betenbough. So before I went to Narragate, faith was just wasn't there in my life. I thought that I knew what was best. Anything that I did was of my own will. But honestly, by going to Narragate and understanding what true faith really is, and gaining that relationship with Jesus, and honestly trying to seek that every single day, that's what's played a huge role in my life, to date. Now what that looks like is I have a 7-year-old daughter. We're trying to instill those same beliefs in her, and just seeing the excitement in her eyes whenever we go to church and she tells us what she learned about that day. That's what keeps us going. To be able to lead people now, like now I'm in charge of a team, going through all these things, pre-Narragate, at Narragate, and then coming to Betenbough, say 7 years later after the fact. Man, I've honestly grown a lot in how I lead people. It's not about getting the task done. Now it's truly about just honestly walking alongside the people and pouring into them just a little bit at a time. So we have people from all different walks of life. We have some that came here as believers. We have some that don't believe. And honestly, the coolest thing that I've seen is I have some team members right now that, man, they didn't believe or they didn't have that relationship. Maybe they were agnostic to the point, but they might think, okay, something's out there, but maybe not for me. Now I have them asking questions about, hey, who is Jesus? And man, it's been extremely gratifying to watch. If you look at it, if you think about it, you're at Narragate, you think you're in this bubble. You're just always thinking of what you could be, what's next, what's going on. You're not looking at what's right in front of you right now. But when you can't really see the big picture. And when I look at building a home, okay, look, you pull up to the lot, it's just dirt. Well, then you throw a slab on it, then you throw the frame on it, and slowly but surely this house starts to become a home. And so you can't really see the big picture here, but as you grow and as you go through this process of life, man, you get the big picture at the end. And in my mind, when I see that and I get to see these home buyers with this face of just joy and gratitude, I see Jesus in that every single day. I've had the privilege to work with a guy that is also a Narragate graduate. I actually met him when I was working there, and he came through, wouldn't get off his phone, and that's kind of where our relationship started. We have a lot of great memories from Narragate. But fast forward 10, 11, 12 years, Ben Barton has been somebody that I've constantly been in contact. He held my daughter in the hospital. I mean, he's been there throughout all of that. He was there when my dad got sick. Just all of these life events, Ben has always been there. He's just that friend that always has your best intentions at heart. And obviously, if you know Ben Barton, he's got one of the biggest hearts you'll ever see. And us being able to share that experience at Narragate, I think honestly sharpened us into even better friends than we might have been if we didn't share that same experience. My time at Narragate, honestly, it shaped me into the man that I am today. But more than that is it made me a developer of people.
Harrison is the best boss leader I have ever got to work with or work for. I feel like he's super genuine in his leadership. You know, he's not, hey, we need to get a job done, but he's like, hey, it's more like a partnership, it feels like. There's plenty of days where I text him trying to problem solve or, you know, get advice from him, but it's more because like I respect his advice and I want to be able to, you know, do what he would do in a hard situation. I just want to like share it with him, like, thank you for like believing in me and hiring me and, you know, guiding me. I always just like, thank you for everything that you do, because he is definitely a leader that we all aspire to be like. Multiple team members would say that about him.
I can tell you right now that if I didn't go through Narrowgate when I went through Narrowgate, I would not have been prepared for the things that were to come over the next decade. I had a heart change at Narrowgate, and man, I'm so glad I did.